So the first question was really about deadlines. It gets kind of confusing. Tax deadlines. Let's talk about tax deadlines. So if it is that you are US exposed, and what do I mean by US exposed? So you have a US passport, so you're a US citizen, or you are a lawful permanent resident, or you've triggered substantial presence under Section 7701. So regardless of what it is, you are a US taxpayer. At least, even if it's temporary, but you are a US taxpayer. So you need to file taxes for 2022. So the question is, well, when is the deadline? It gets confusing. Some people say, is it mid-April, like it was when you were physically in the US, or is it a special deadline? So the answer is yes and no. with tax rules, it's never really quite clear-cut sometimes. So yes, you do get an automatic 2-month extension. So the filing deadline is mid-June. So yes, that is correct. However, the deadline for payment is still mid-April. I know it seems counterintuitive and it seems kind of weird, but that's just the way it is. So payments must be made by mid-April, even though the actual default date for filing a return, this is a normal 1040, a personal tax return, is mid-June. Yeah. However, you'd want to file, if you're not going to be ready by mid-June, you'd want to file an extension with a form 4868 and you get until mid-October if you need that extra time to pull things together, which many people do. If you need even extra time, perhaps to leverage the foreign income exclusion, or so there's other such extenuating circumstances, you can file a form 2350, so you get until mid-December. But these are all filing deadlines. If taxes are due, taxes have to be paid by mid-April. So what we do, first of all, we always advise clients to start the journey early. Do not wait until the last minute. You should not really be approaching a tax team at the end of March to hit a mid-April deadline. It's not going to happen. So we're filing for extension. So we'll file for an extension and we try to get some sort of calculation done so that at least you can make a payment by mid-April, because failing to do so, you're going to be hit with underpayment penalties. So the IRS, they do not like to wait to get paid. They want to get their money on time. So you should, whichever tax team you've been working with historically, they should have been helping you calculate what the estimated payments would be. And I think we get into estimated payments a little further on in this conversation. But you should have been making those payments, and we'll help you make as best as we can, because like everyone else who's pretty decent at their job, they're pretty swamped right now. So yeah, you try to make a payment by mid-April, you get an extension. If you don't do anything, you have an extension until mid-June. If you do file for an extension, you have until mid-October to get the paperwork done. So this is for your personal tax return. But many of our clients aren't just doing personal returns. So they are business investors, they're business owners. So that means that there are entity filing requirements as well. Generally speaking, you can Google what the specific forms would be and what the deadlines are. So, but just generally speaking, if it is that you have a flow through, and by flow through, I mean like an S Corp or a partnership. So therefore you need to file a 1065 or you need to file an 1120S for an S Corp. The deadline for that was mid-March. So you're already late. So generally speaking, the deadline for the flow-throughs or for the pass-throughs, mid-March. If it is you have an entity like a corporation, like a C Corp, or a foreign corp that does business in the US, which is an 1120F for foreign. So many of our clients do that. The deadline would be mid-April. So the entity deadlines tend to be mid-April. So generally speaking, that's what you're looking at. But again, you could probably just speak to your tax advisor or just Google. Everything is completely available online. So, you got to get going.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.